Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? We're getting into Love Island series 11. We are now on episode 3. Oh, all I must say, it didn't disappoint, and these people are a whole different kettle of fish to the caliber that we've seen in previous times. Or I'm stunned. I'm stunned that I can't even speak right now, especially with the ending of this one, but we'll get there. Anyway, before I get into this video, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so when you know I'm on and doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do all of it that you do, because again, I am on the road to 1k. Now let's get into this episode, because we're back for another installment. As we know, Sam's gone. His dance was did and he had to say goodbye. Joey is with Samantha, and to be fair, I think they look good together. But I did clock how quick Samantha's tears dried up, yeah, when she went to go and have this chat with her now newfound man in Joey. Joey was basically asking her if she was glad that he picked her. She said, of course. So she asked him the question, what are you like as a boyfriend? Joey turned around and says, I'm boyfriend material. I'm like, my God, my guy, that's not what she asked you. Like, seriously. So then they were talking about their love languages, and he was basically saying that he's not obsessive. Samantha said that she is, and all I saw was red light. It was not a green light zone. It was a red light. They both love PDA though, besides the obsessiveness. They both love PDA. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's par for the course on Love Island. Everybody's going to get a little bit of PDA going on here, there and everywhere. So that's neither here nor there. I mean, the whole she's obsessive bit was just completely lost on Joey. Like, completely lost. I thought, until you're in that madness, you ain't never going to know what it feels like. So I was just kind of like, yeah, Samantha's not going to be a good person at sharing at all. She's locked her sights on Joey, and that is it for her. And she's hoping that Joey is thinking and feeling the same way, because don't forget, our 33-year-old Joey came in there saying he was looking for a wifey. He was looking to settle down. He was looking to start a family, to get married, all that chatter, all that yada yada yada. Now we'll see if it stands true. At the end of the day, we will see if it stands true, because right now he is quite taken with Samantha. Don't blame him, to be fair. She is a nice girl, but you know, there's certain aspects about her that are a bit questionable. So you see Munvia talking to Patsy, and basically they've both declared that they're interested in each other. I didn't see that coming at all. When they do talk to each other, it's as dry as the Sahara Desert. I just think they're kind of boring together. But you know what, at least Munvia is putting himself out there, and basically he's trying to say that his type is Patsy. I don't think he is, but I think he's literally just trying to at least put someone in standing when it comes to a recoupling, because we already know he's lost Mimi to Ayo. We know this. He sees this. He knows he's lost Mimi in that respect. So Patsy does get comfortable enough to tell Munvia about her disability. I was like, oh, okay. He didn't shy away from that. She explained what it was. She hadn't really said it to the rest of the group in terms of her disability and how it affects her, but she was able to explain this to Munvia. So then we get to Kieran and Harriett. So then to have a talk, yeah. She lets Kieran know that yes, she does like Joey, and it's up front. Kieran, on the flip side, doesn't necessarily let Harriett know that, you know what, he has a little bit of an interest in Nicole, and Nicole has a little bit of an interest in Kieran. Harriett states that she was glad that Joey didn't pick Kieran, because then it would be Kieran that would have left and she wanted him to stay. So I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll just wait to see what else is coming with these two at the end of the day. I don't know if I like them together. So you see Joey get straight in with that PDA with Samantha. Like, seriously, this girl is going to hold on to this man. She ain't going to let him go nowhere. And I mean nowhere. So you see Ayo as well grabs Mimi. And he takes her to the terrace and he basically lays it out that he's very attracted to her and he absolutely wants to see where it goes between them, like them have a chat. I mean, they do look cute together, they really do. So Ayo goes, can I show you something? I'm like, yeah, we know where this is going. So they end up kissing. Now, when I say that their kisses are deep, it's not a lot of slap like you see other others do. It's not a load of tongue. It's just bare sensualness when they actually do kiss. I said the others look like they're about to eat each other's faces off. I just yeah. When the others kiss, it's just literally pins and needles in my ears because it's just all of that kind of stuff. At the best of times, I don't like it when people eat and smack their lips. When they're kissing and making that much sound, it's irritating as hell. So Kira decides to pull Nicole for a chat. Harriett gets hella upset by it. I'm telling you, I don't understand why these people get hella possessive with each other when they ain't had chats with everybody else. It's like it's a given that the person that they then couple up with or they get along with or they have an attraction with is off limits to everybody else. That's not how it goes. You've not had a discussion in regards to, we're not locked off to each other. I'm still going to get to know people. I'm still open, yada, yada, yada. They're not going to chat to nobody else. And if they do, then you need to come and tell them. It is kind of out of respect that, you know what, if you are interested in someone else, then you kind of tell the person that you're with, do you know what, I actually like that person too, so I think I'm going to pick them up and go and have a chat with them. But I think that's what was Harriett's issue. But I think more of Harriett's issue was the fact that Kieran then turned around to Nicole and says, oh, do you want to go and have a chat in the hideaway? At first I was like, wow, you quick, you fast. Usually they have the hideaway shut. It's usually locked and it's not accessible to anybody unless you pick a couple to go in there. But this season they've got that shit open so they can go in, they can have a look around, they can look at the stuff, this, that and the other. So Nicole screeched like, oh, all excited like a freaking chipmunk, and I'm like, my girl, calm yourself, slow your roll. He's only asking you to go for a chat in the hideaway, even though the term hideaway and what it can present gives all types of connotations. And that's what happened with Harriett. The green-eyed monster came and beat Harriett in the ass because she was saying that she had no idea that Kieran actually took a liking to Nicole to the point that he wanted to speak to her. Now, it's all the bullshit that happens after that I'm like, this is just bare drama. It's going where it doesn't really need to go. So Kieran literally just goes in there and has a chat with Nicole, basically. I don't think he's been fully open and honest with Nicole in regards to where his feelings are at when it comes to Harriett. That man was stuttering all over the place when Nicole was asking those sets of questions in regards to what's he got with Harriett, how's he seeing things go with her and this, that and the other. I don't think he actually sold it for me that, you know what, me and Harriett are still in the get to know stage. He didn't necessarily let her know that he did tell Harriett that, you know what, she's the only person that he has his eye on in there at the moment. And he didn't really let Harriett know that, you know what, actually I do kind of like Nicole as well, so there's going to be times that I am going to pull her for a chat. Out the come of the hideaway, some of the girls are sitting separately to the other ones, and you can see Harriett's face. She is literally spitting nails, like proper spitting nails. Kieran does not go and chat to her in the slightest. He goes after the lads, and Nicole decides that she's going to go and pick up some girls along the way. So she decides to go and have a chat with Jess and Patsy, and I was like, well, why didn't she feel the need to pull Harriett to the side as well then to have that chat with her? And I mean, even Kieran could have spoken to Harriett when they came out of the hideaway. So that again is just giving Harriett a full-on wrong impression in regards to what's happening between them two. So Sean is letting Kieran know exactly what he did wrong in the eyes of Harriet and why she's upset and pissed at this moment in time. Kieran went to say something and then Ra forgot Harriet's name. I says once that happens, there's a no go. That's a no going back zone. You Ra forgot the girl's name that you were coupled up with not some moments ago before you went and chatted to Nicole, that you were saying that she is in your vision, she is your eyes, your line of sight. This is where you want to put your eggs basically with Harriet. Forgetfulness set in rather quickly with our Kieran after his little chat with Nicole, didn't it? Anyway, so Harriet is then crying, like full on crying. And I'm like, if you're going to be that sensitive, yeah, then you shouldn't be on Love Island. Like, seriously, why put yourself in a situation where you know this is how you're going to feel going forward? You are going to couple with people who you are going to have an attraction to and get along with and want to get to know, but they're also going to have people they want to get to know too. So I don't understand why you would force yourself, put yourself in that type of situation, and you are as sensitive as all get out, like absolutely sensitive. I says, I will do on the flip side, though. I do kind of understand why Harriet is upset in the fact that, you know what, there weren't no heads up given and she would have preferred the heads up. Even if a heads up was given, I still think she would be upset, to be fair. Probably not as much as upset as she is right now, but she still would be. So, what makes it worse is, you see, Samantha come to the aid of Harriet literally to calm her down because she was crying on her shoulder and everything, and in came the backbiting, and that's the bit I can't abide, because at the end of the day Harriet was getting into Kieran and wanting to get to know him and literally limpet hanging all over him, had all the good words to say about him. Now one faux pas and he's all the X names under the freaking sun at the end of the day, and his behaviour is deplorable and as they do. Nicole walks through as Samantha and Harriet are coming back out, and literally it just was like awkwardness and the frosty look that Harriet gave Nicole when she looked at them, because I think Nicole was going to stop and ask if everything was all right and then have the chat with Harriet. Harriet gave her a mother of frostiness. She was Queen Elsa at that point. Harriet was Queen Elsa at that point, to the point where Nicole literally just shot out of that room. Samantha tried to run after her, and as she's running after her now, you see it all then spill out, all this drama spill out across the freaking villa. Everybody's sitting and watching and thinking, what the fuck now? And then you see Nicole start to blart up, and then Samantha trying to talk to her. And I tell you what, when Nicole got going and she was talking, because her and Harriet do the same thing, especially when they try to make amends with each other. Their talking goes so high freaking pitched, they talk over each other that you can't understand a word of what any one of them are saying. Like, seriously couldn't understand a word. So I couldn't even tell you what Nicole was saying. Like, seriously, all I know is she didn't want the drama. She didn't need the issues that were being brought up now. All I'm saying, it would have taken a talk, you know what I mean? Taken a talk, and you probably wouldn't get this backlash right now, because guaranteed, if you was in the same position as Harriet and Kieran did what he did with you, that he did with someone else towards you, you would be all het up too in the fact that this man did not say that he was interested in someone else. But as I say, different strokes for different folks at the end of the day. So it's the daytime and Kieran is chatting with the others, and they're talking about the situation that happened last night. And Kieran basically says that he would pick Harriet because he knows her better. And this is what I mean. Kieran said something completely different to Nicole the night before. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't egging up Harriet then at the end of the day. He let her know that he still wanted to get to know Harriet. So you see Mumvia talking to Patsy and basically wants to give honesty to Patsy, even though he only just told her that he liked her the night before. So I mean, do you know what? It's null and void when it comes to Monveer at the moment. I think he just wants to try and put himself somewhere where he can fit in at the end of the day. And I don't think he thinks he fits with Patsy. I don't think he fits with Patsy either. So he's letting her know that he wants to speak to other girls, and Patsy was absolutely fine with this. Harriett goes to Samantha, and this is where this shit starts all over again. So Harriett goes to Samantha, said she's going to talk to Joey. I thought at this point Harriett is begging trouble, because she's saying to Samantha that she's going to take him to the hideaway to have a chat, because basically she wants to give Kieran a taste of his own medicine. Samantha point blank told Harriett, well, that's a little bit petty, but Harriett didn't see it that way in the slightest. But little did she know, when Harriett started on her bullshit train, Samantha was back in the villa telling people what the fuck Harriett was up to. And people were like, they couldn't believe the tit for tat pettiness that this girl was doing, like honestly doing. Samantha said that she was jealous, and even though she kind of agreed for Harriett to go do what she wanted to, because she could have said, well, you know what, nah, you ain't gonna use Joey in that way. I don't think it's fair to him. Unless you really want to have a good conversation with him, then you ain't pulling him for nothing else. If you're really that upset with the shit that happened with Kieran, go talk to Kieran and sort your shit out. Don't bring everybody else into your bullshit, is what she could have said. But did she? No, she did not. She let that girl go on with the man and ramp with him up in a hideaway. So this is what I mean in regards to some of the girls being stereotypical. And Harriett is one of them, because she behaved in a stereotypical way in a game playing situation. So she's trying to play with the mind of Kieran by making him feel some type of jealousy. Ain't gonna work. It's gonna backfire on her freaking royally. Like seriously, it's gonna backfire on her ass, because those types of games never truly work. And all you do is she's just upset Samantha with the bullshit, and the fact that you're using Joey in a way that he doesn't want to be used. Now let's just put it this way. Harriet was playing a little game, but Joey did not look invited or honestly buggered by it at the end of the day. He wasn't really feeding into the bullshit that Harriet was peddling, because I think Joey could actually see right through her, because Joey's mind is completely taken with Samantha, and that's what he said to her. He is literally, Samantha's him, a bit of him, and that's where he is at the end of the day. They're gelling very nicely. He ain't going to be looking nowhere else at the end of the day when it comes to any of the other girls in the villa. He says Harriet's a good looking girl, but she ain't for him. So this is how I know that Joey was just giving it lip service when Harriet was talking to him, and you could see it on his face, because you can tell when Joey gets excited. It meets his eyes. This man was looking at this girl like, yeah, is it really? That's how he was being, because he weren't interested. But Harriet could not read the room. Harriet could not read the room because she was so set and focused on the goal that she wanted to have, which was to get back at Kieran. She's a dancer. I don't know what moves that was, but they were stiff as a rasp board. And for Joey to say anything but that they were stiff is beyond me. Even when Joey went and said to her, oh, well, can you do that twerk thing? And he goes, she went twerk, and it was like, nah, it's not kind of like twerking. It's the one where and he gets up and he kind of drops down to his knees and comes back up, and she goes, oh, you mean a slut drop? I'm like, that my gal, that is not a slut drop. That has never been a slut drop where I've come from, to be fair. So she goes, oh, I don't do that kind of dancing. I do the classical dancing. Do you know what I mean? She was like, what do you mean, like theatre? I'm a theatre kid. So he goes to her, well, show me some of your theatre stuff. So she was just doing a little, well, not even a little ditty. She did two moves, stiff as a board. You needed oil on them joints, like seriously needed oil on them joints. Samantha, as I said, back in the villa, is telling everybody what's going on. Nicole, hella shocked by the levels of pettiness that this girl has gone to. So Samantha decides to have a chat with Kieran. And Kieran, I agree with entirely, where he says it's been 3 days at the end of the day. And Kieran is right that you don't do shit out of spite, because now she's playing games and it will get her in trouble and fire back on herself, because at the end of the day it's just immature and it's petty. I mean, Kieran's basically saying that this Harriett needs to grow up. I think this type of thing is going to give Kieran a little bit of a nick and probably push him more towards Nicole than what Harriett wanted at the end of the day. So you see Harriett and Kieran have a chat, and Kieran basically was asking her if something had happened, had he pissed her off in some way. So Harriett's there talking about how no, it's just the fact, it's the way that it looked. So Kieran calls her out for what she did with Joey, being tit for tat. And Harriett basically sat there and lied in this man's face and said it wasn't like that, and apologized to him to say, it wasn't my intention to make it look like that. I just wanted to have a chat with Joey. I was like, if lightning strikes where she sits, because that gal is a rass liar. Do they not realise that they're recorded all day, every day, and we get to see certain things that they say? And sometimes they use this shit to play back in those little war game things. Does she not realise that? Because she sat there and just lied in the rass man's face like that. Oh, it's a wonder she didn't go up in a puff of raw smoke, I'm telling you. Like, poof, be gone. My God. Samantha then decides that she's going to take her ass over to Joey and basically telling him to go speak to Harriett. And Joe's like, well, why do I need to go and speak to her for? And Samantha was explaining to him exactly what was going on. And Joey was like, I'm not into them games there, or into them cheggeries at the end of the day. He's basically saying, as I already said, Samantha is it for him at the moment. So Harriett then calls Samantha over to them. And now Harriett is winding it back as if to say, no, well, that's not what I meant. This is what I meant. And I'm like, my girl, any which way you try to explain it makes you come off as petty. And I'm just like, even though Harriett is apologizing to Sam right now, she would do it again, because Harriett has a devious streak a mile wide now. I see that. I hope you lot see that too, but I see that she has a devious streak a mile wide, and she ain't above playing games. She will continue to do what she's probably done for her life, in and out of her life, to be honest with you. So Sean is basically saying that he wants to get to know Harriett. I don't think Sean is Harriett's type at all, especially when she said she either likes I think she said she likes posh guys, or she likes Essex boys or she likes Essex guys at the end of the day. Bearing in mind Joey's from Essex and his name is Joey Essex, so that does not surprise me in the slightest. You see Munvia talking to Patsy again. It's still awkward, it's not, and as he's talking to Patsy, he ain't even looking in Patsy's face, he's looking away from Patsy, and then he turns to her, wanting to know what she was thinking and hoping that he is interested in her. And Patsy turned around and says, oh, well, I don't get that vibe from you at all. I'm like, don't worry, my love, I don't get that vibe from Munvia at all. I think he's just looking for someone to, as I said, to stick by until the recoupling comes around. So you see Nicole and Kieran again together talking, and Kieran is telling Nicole that he wants to know more about her, and that now he's leaning more towards her rather than he was Harriett, that he was in the beginning. And I honestly believe it was due to the stunt that Harriett pulled that has probably given Kieran a little bit of a nick. And once that happens, there's no going back from that. So I guarantee you, I will say it here, that you'll see Kieran start to pull away from Harriett in getting to know Nicole more, because Harriett just deaded that in the water with the stupid shit that she pulled today. So Ayo and Jess are about to talk, and then a text comes in, and I was like, oh, that's never good. That is never good when a text comes in. So the girls had to blindfold the boys, take them to where the pool is, and then they had to go up on a terrace. So I was like, okay, someone must be coming in and they're going to end up kissing these boys, but we'll see what happens. Imagine my joy and my surprise. Then it turned to horror, and I'll explain why. When another black girl came in, I was like, yes, 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 yes. Another beautiful black queen has entered the building named Uma. Mimi did not look best pleased because she kind of know that she'd probably be Ayo's type. Yeah. Mimi was not pleased at all. She was trying to school her face, but it wasn't working. You could see her eyes were glaring daggers. So as Uma comes in now, she kisses all the boys, and it's like each one she kisses, she's taking their breath away because they're like, what is going on here? Ayo turns around and said, them lips are juicy. Again, it clips to Mimi's face. She looked hella worried. She looked upset. She looked like she was raging underneath all of that. I'm telling you, she looked like she was raging. So after she's kissed all the lads, she says she rips off Ayo's blindfold, tells him shush. He looks at her and says, oh my days, are you shitting me right now? And I'm like, is this Ayo's ex-girl? Does Ayo know this girl? Because I'm thinking the way in which he looked hella shocked and surprised at seeing her stood there in front of him makes me know that he knows this girl in some way, somehow. So then you see them walk off. She pulls him and the walk off towards the hideaway, and Uma's looking up at the balcony, and I think she's looking at the girls, but more so directly at Mimi. Mimi looked upset. I ain't gonna lie, she looked like she was about to jump off that balcony and say, what the fuck is going on here, and drag them back like, you know, a Mortal Kombat move. Get over here sort of thing. But yeah, and then it ended. I sat there and was like, nah, how can you end it right there? Anna didn't give a clip to show what would happen in the next episode. So I'm kind of thinking that Uma is someone that Ayo knows, and I think he knows her on a personal level, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. As I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share, do what it is that you do, because I am on the road to 1K, and I'll be back to grace your screens very soon. Peace out.